You're listening to The Can-Do Experiment. Parental advisory is advised.
Hey, I'm your host, Can-Do.
Co-host Heavy, kinda, I guess.
And
I'm Pete.
I'm Pete. I'm Peter. Hi, I'm Pete. I'm here.
I really want to rickroll you right there, but it's too late. Anyways.
But yeah, so, been taking a bit of a hiatus for the past year, and the community has definitely made it aware whenever I've gone to an Airsoft event. Hey, how you doing? When's the next episode is pretty much how the conversations have been going.
So like all three people?
All three of the podcasts. All three of them. Which is, it's nice to hear. But it's not like we haven't been wanting to do an episode. It's just been unable to.
Yeah.
So hopefully this year we get better at that. And we got a different setup now. Well, same equipment, just different space. And
better space, more comfortable space.
More comfortable, and now there's a dog, so that's always nice too. And
yeah, but she's quiet. She's asleep right now.
She's asleep, thank God.
She can be our new mascot.
Yeah. She's good for that. But anyhow, let's just get into it. What have we been up to for the past year, Pete?
Way to put me on the spot. Yeah, our last episode was like March of last year, so like
Podcast
everything.
Incorporated.
Yeah.
With the Ink Boys.
Wow.
If anyone got through that whole episode, I will give you a crisp high five.
Especially if it was like they start and finish.
Yeah.
Like a oneer, if you will.
Yeah. Like
I'm
you sat down and did not turn it off for the whole thing.
I'm not getting a high five.
No.
I wasn't either.
I remember when you guys recorded that and you told me about it, and I was like, oh, that's great. Like, I'm happy that you're doing it without me. And then I checked to see how long it was after you posted it, and I was like,
You just looked at it and go,
I knew immediately, and I'm like, I'm going to open that. It's going to be a whole bunch of laughing. There's going to be random conversation all over the place, which is great.
Yeah.
But the timestamp was just like, oh, God.
That one got away from us.
Yeah.
That's why you need me.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a new rule: no hard liquor at the episodes, because I think that didn't help.
No, it's okay. I finished mine already, so it's done.
Perfect.
That's barely hard.
It's also
It's a
just
Vizzy, bro.
It's also just a Vizzy, but
That's a refresher.
If Vizzy's hard
was
for you, that's
refreshing.
bad.
no, it was refreshing.
Yeah.
So what have you been up to, Caleb?
Did a lot of camping, went to a lot of games. Really kind of enjoying the last moments at PRZ now that it's officially done with.
Rest in peace.
May it rest in peace is probably.
Peter will no longer be harassed by the ghosts.
Yeah,
in the
no
building.
more. No more ghosts. My goodness, I love PRZ, but I'm also just not really disappointed to not go back there because, like,
It was time.
time
In the ghosts.
That moment in our recce like pregame deployment.
That was Conquer
at
3?
Conquer 3 last year. I had a voice whisper in my ear to get out of the room that I was in.
A loud whisper.
Yeah,
too,
it was a loud whisper. And there was nobody else nearby. Like, Old Man Steve was 2 or 3 rooms ahead of me.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the moment where I'm like, I'm not going to miss this place.
This is the last straw, Ghost.
Yeah, that one.
Stop it.
Meanwhile, it was just someone on the other team who left
No.
a walkie in the room.
No, there's nobody else there. There was nobody there. That one kind of fucked me up.
Actually, you know what would be pretty cool? If anyone listening, if you have any like ghost story experiences or even if it's remotely, send it into the Can-Do Experiment page, and then we'll kind of read them off. Because I think that would be a really cool episode, actually.
Yeah, ghost stories.
Everybody has a story about PRZ.
Yeah.
That's the thing, too. With the lack of airsoft that just everyone's kind of been playing, not that it's not out there, it's just that we've been playing. I think it'd be good for us to find new ways to fill time in episodes and stuff, too, right? Because it's just to entertain people, right? So...
Well, yeah, like when we said it back way back in the pilot episode. Like,
Hence, why we call it the Can-Do Experiment.
and not like the Can-Do Airsoft podcast or whatever.
Yeah.
It's because we're not going to be strictly Airsoft only. We
kept saying that for the longest time, and the one time me and you got into a Star Wars conversation I think we got a lot of fun feedback for that episode.
We got
Oh man,
we got a lot of feedback on that one. I received a patch the next day. It was really cool.
How come I never got shit?
You got to go play Airsoft, bro.
Fuck you. You know what's funny? I have all my guns. They're still laying here, and I have a collection of all these things, and they're just kind of tucked away now. It's like,
Yeah, I got to borrow the what is that, the Crytek, the LMG you got?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to borrow that one day.
Are you?
One day.
Okay.
Well, you also have to fix your M4.
Which one? The
Get
Titman?
that running, yeah. You have to get it running.
The Timman runs. It's just inconsistent with like the FPS and stuff. And I've talked to some people about it.
You have to get it running.
Yeah, that thing's loud.
Yeah. That
It
was
is
my
cool.
first gun.
It's cool, but it's just the FPS and like when I take it to Chrono, it's just like cool 1.4, 0.3, 5.5. I'm like,
You're
what
good.
the fuck?
Oh, you're not good. Oh, you're low. Oh, you're good again.
Well, this is
Nope,
really
you're
bad.
too hot.
This is
I
way
remember.
bad.
So that Titman, that was my first airsoft gun,
Yeah.
and Kayla bought it off me and everything because I barely ran it anymore. But I had the exact same issue, so that's always how it's been. But
Yeah.
usually, like they take the average, and that's what I found, and that's what they could kind of it's okay.
From my understanding, it's like that's just a Tipman thing.
Yeah.
So you just have to bring it so low that when it peaks, it's still under or something like that.
Well, that's the thing is everything, all the regulators inside that gun, right?
Yeah.
There's not like an external regulator to, keep it running smooth, but the pressure just jumps up and down because if you're trying to fire it too fast and it doesn't have enough time to refill the chamber properly, then
Yeah, but there's like 5 spots for Allen keys, and I'm trying to still figure out what does what. So
Yeah.
Does Tipman still exist as a company?
I don't know.
Or are they gone now?
I think it's bigger in paintball still.
Yeah.
Oh, are they? Okay.
I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, it's still a gun that I want to run. But that would be the only HPA rifle that I would run ever. Maybe at the compound with all that swamp going there.
Right.
Just have a nice little dip. Just get like some swimming, like safety rated glasses going or something
I
like
don't
that.
think it's deep enough.
No?
For you to,
I don't know.
you could probably wade through it, but it didn't look super deep.
Well, just deep enough to do what they do. Sorry.
Jeez.
Do what the
Way
Navy
to go.
SEALs do, right? Where they come out of the water and just like their eyes are already open because
You'll
it's
be,
super
like,
cool to do that.
Crawling to,
Yeah.
to do that. And covered in like snakes and
I'm sure Magic's got like a big
all manner of.
big machine to dig some deeper spots for me.
He'll
That'd be
just,
nice.
he'll just dig one trench through the swamp.
Ugh.
It'll be a
Swamp.
hidden trail.
I'll take Swamp Ass to a whole nother level.
Oh my gosh.
But any hoosers, the past year it's just been a lot of like making sure I do get my time's worth into PRZ, just because it is the last hurrah. Warzone was fun. 13 Hours was really cool.
That was a really cool game. That game could have gone it could have been much better if we had a better player turnout.
For 13?
For 13 hours. Yeah, it was definitely a game. Oh, that's what I'm hearing. You're messing around with your wires. It was definitely a game that was intended for 150, 200 players, and they didn't get that number. So
Yeah, because I'm trying to remember how many players we had in our small faction. It was like 20?
something like that, yeah.
I think it was like 20 for our faction, 20 for another faction, and then the Americans or the government or whatever it was
Yeah.
called had like 100 or something.
I thought it was 3 factions versus the Americans, but yeah, it wasn't as
There was a third, my
yeah.
bad.
It definitely would have been better with many more players.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, it was definitely more like multi-faction
yeah,
based. But it was getting to the end of the year and stuff like that too. So
well, yeah, it was also I didn't play in the morning, but some people did, and they're crazy because it was like freezing rain and sleet
Yeah.
when
Yeah,
we decided to leave.
I was freezing in my little backpacking tent. My tent itself was frozen. Like I had to punch my way out. It was
Yeah.
pretty funny. But like I had because it was later in the year, it was like November or something. And
I thought it was October.
was it? I could have sworn it was November.
I thought it was October, late October.
But
Maybe it was November.
regardless, I had my Milwaukee heated sweater. So I lined the bottom of my tent with a moving blanket for like added insulation, had my whole sleeping pad. I did wool blankets, sleeping bags, and then my heated sweater. And I had that thing on full tilt, and I was still shivering hard. I was like, this is not fun.
No.
That's a
like
nice way to end PRC.
Like that, it was Warzone 2 years ago when we played in the blizzard.
Yeah.
That was
fine.
I didn't have a problem with the cold then.
No,
But that's because everybody was prepared for it.
We had snow
But
too to
like
help
the
with
forecast
insulation.
wasn't.
Just got to be ready for everything at any time.
I thought I was.
Oh, right. I just found
Middle of August, bring your
Yeah.
snowsuit.
right. I just thought it was kind of almost bittersweet because my first time at PRZ,
Oh yeah, you almost died there too.
I was basically hypothermic, and then ending my last game at PRZ basically on the same line. So I should have saw it coming, I guess. But no, how was your last year at PRZ? And because you and I basically
Yeah,
went
what-
to
what
like
we-
every
we
single
did.
game together.
We did Narco State,
Yep, Narco,
Warzone,
Conquer, Warzone,
Conquer.
13-hour.
13 hours. I think that was it.
Yeah,
I think that was it. Narco State was fun. We were up 4.
yeah, that was
I
interesting.
decided to run just a shotgun and a pistol for that game.
Yeah. Kaboom! Sorry, shit that guy in the face so hard.
I can't believe the range that it's a Matador, like full size solid stock shotgun with like the wood stock and everything. The range it gets from the top of 3-story was insane.
You just seem to have that knack with
Well, that too.
airsoft guns. It's just like, a glass Scorpion machine pistol.
Yeah, I'm gonna
And you're-
shoot
and you're-
somebody like halfway across the field with it.
Yeah, and just one shot.
So
done.
many stories of you doing that.
I just don't get how you do it because I'm watching this happen. I'm like, there's nothing. There's no
I'm
technique.
not even really aiming.
No, it could just be holstered and
Dude,
somehow you're shooting the guy.
Out of all the guns I've owned, how many have had sights on them?
Pete's throwing BBs out the window.
Yeah,
Right? Get the guy a straw and some BBs and see what happens.
I'll get you.
I think the only sights you have is when you put your thermal on at night.
Yeah, and even then I can't. I just shoot in a general direction. But yeah, Narco State was fun. 13 hours was cold. Warzone. Oh, we won a Warzone.
Yeah,
We got real lucky.
we did. Because because it was just the two of us from Nomad, and then we signed up with the Blackwell guys
Yeah.
to make up 2 separate squads. And
So the
Your-
rules for that game were,
there was
if
the
I remember
patches.
correctly, you could join up with another squad.
Yep.
At some point, you could trade patches or whatever. But you could only give your patch away once.
Yes.
And then that was it. That was the only time you could team up with them.
Yeah.
But we went with essentially 2 squads of Blackwell. So we gave away our friendship patch for the first round and helped
Help them win.
them win. And then they gave us their friendship patch for the second round.
You know, a little vice versa.
And we won the first one.
Yeah.
I don't remember how close it was or whatever.
But
But then for the second round, we weren't looking very good.
no, we were having because what we did for the first round was we decided we're not going to go in the buildings because that's where a lot of the crazy firefights are happening.
Everybody dies.
And we're like, let's just keep to the perimeter of the field. And from there, we found just by walking around in circles, a lot of coins.
Oh yeah, they were
then,
throwing coins out the back of the ambulance on the road.
Yeah.
And nobody wanted to go on the road because
everyone's inside the buildings.
It's scary, and you can get shot from the buildings.
But everyone's busy shooting each other inside the building, so we just walked, grabbed it, walked away. And then anyone leaving the buildings after being shot up a bunch, you know, there's supposed to be a 5-man squad. There's one dude left alive to then extract it. And then now there's 10 dudes on one person.
Yeah.
Well, that was
That's an easy gunfight.
Math is pretty easy at that point.
Yeah. But for the second round, I think we
were getting our asses
we got
whooped.
separated a couple times, and we were losing gunfights.
Yeah.
We were having to stash like whatever we had, just like
5 coins,
whatever,
stash it.
right?
Like,
Just on top of a door frame or whatever, right? Like we weren't getting anything for a long time.
yeah, that one was looking bad for us.
Yeah, I didn't think we were gonna win, and then we were getting ready to extract the few we had. I think we had like 40 coins or something, and
Something sad.
yeah, we ended up getting in a gunfight in Northfield, and we just kind of threw it underneath a tree,
Yeah.
and then we died, and we came back for it later, and I forget who it was that went in the tree to get our stash, but while they were picking it up, they heard crunching underneath them, and it turns out we threw our little stash on top of what was probably a
Mammoth of a stash.
It was probably from like Parabellum or like some other Blackcell
previous
game.
Narcos.
Like a team's, like a full-on factions stash, because I think we exfilled with like
777 coins.
770 something coins.
That's Jesus number right there, son.
And like rolls of
biblical.
rolls of money and little bags of money and
Cell phones.
yeah,
and
cell phones, laptops. Like it was all under this tree. And so
while you're collecting all this stuff, we got Game Lead from Blackwell being like, "Come on, guys! Like the way's clear to the extraction. Let's go!" And I'm like, "Pete, let's fucking go!"
and I'm like, no.
And I'm like, yeah, he's just like a toddler hanging onto the teddy.
Oh
Like,
my
give me the teddy.
gosh.
No. And it's just like,
And then to extract it, you have to count everything.
yeah.
And so we were in the tower in the North Field, and I'm just frantically counting all these coins, and I'm just counting them on the floor of this tower, which has big cracks in it.
Yeah.
And so I'm like trying not to drop coins down the cracks and stuff, and we're starting to get attacked, and I think we extracted, and within like 2 minutes, we all got wiped.
Yeah.
But we got all our money out.
Yeah. And that game was the first time I actually ran my night vision at the time too. So that was
You're new.
Yeah,
Yeah.
from Moon Vision. So that was a nice experience too. Hagen and I had some back and forth. It was good. He was using the dual tubes or whatever it was, and he's like, "How'd you get me?" I'm like, "The shadows at night, baby." This is like, what the fuck?
Oh
yeah.
boy.
You always think you're gonna say something cool and you don't.
Yep. But yeah, last year was it was a lot of fun. We definitely got our time in at PRZ.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's definitely a nice like book to shut down on that one, and
yeah.
everyone had a good time, and it's gonna suck because like there's not gonna be another PRZ,
No.
but people are trying to create a new field to give us that big experience again, which is nice, but old hospital ice baths.
It was just so perfect.
Yeah,
It was.
It was just such a perfect venue for us. Before we get off this topic, then, just to kind of wrap up PRZ,
Yeah.
favorite moment, Caleb, of all time, of all your games you've played there.
Lordy.
By the way, I did not ask him to think of something earlier, so this is just very much on the spot. Pete, I'm going to be asking you too.
I know.
Oh, so
I'm
Pete gets
already
a
thinking.
yeah, right.
Don't worry.
Well, I can start with mine.
Sure, you start with yours. I'm going to try to think while I
It was
listen.
Narco a few years ago. I can't remember the year because it's all blur for me.
Was it when you got kicked in the eye?
It was that year, yeah.
Narco 3.
Yeah, was it Narco 3?
Eric,
And
what
then
happened to your eye?
Hey, buddy.
yeah, and then it was just our commanders like Heavy, I need you to kind of take the reins here and get we need to take this 3-story back. I was like, all right. So I just flipped a switch and I just got real mean and like I was grabbing guys by the chest plate and like we had a doorway secured to get up to it.
Yeah.
And guys were still like being very timid. I'm like, man, like if the only way we can really take this is like because it's right by our spawn.
Yeah.
Bodies, just get bodies in there. You'll overwhelm them because if you get shot, you can run back, come back in. Yeah. And it was
they'll eventually run out of ammo.
Well, that's exactly it, right?
It's
so
a
it's like,
numbers
we're going to
game,
take
bro.
it, but we got to
We have to walk.
Like,
we have to walk 100 feet.
So I'm yelling at guys and grabbing them by the plate carriers and be like, get in. They're like, he's like, I'm getting a good shot. I'm like, that's the whole point of airsoft.
Good. Die with honor.
You know what? I get it, but it's still a game. Like we're here for fun.
Yeah.
Get in there. It's like we want to have a foothold because if we didn't have that 3-story at that time where our spawn was, we're screwed. There's no way we'd be able to do anything because we wouldn't even be able to leave and go around to Southfield or anything, right? So
well, it's like you pay to shoot people, but you're also getting paid to get shot at.
Exactly.
And that's the
part
whole
of
point
it,
of the
right?
game.
That's the whole part of it. And it's supposed to be fun. It's better if you just immerse yourself in the game. So for me, that whole game was just a blast.
Yeah, for me, like, because I've been playing PRZ for six.
So it is harder for you because
7
you
years,
got a
something
lot
like that.
more games in than I do.
I've been playing Airsoft for 8 or 9 now, or 10. Oh God, I don't know anymore. It's been a while. But yeah, whatever time I've been playing Airsoft, you minus a year and a half, and that's how long I've been playing at PRZ. I will say my bucket list definitely got checked at Conqueror 3 when we as Recce.
No.
Is that yours?
Well, no, but that would have been a good one. Carry on.
You can have the same one. It's okay.
So Pete's tagging on a little bit, but as reconnaissance, we got to start on top of the 2-story rooftops. The opposing got to start on the 3-story rooftops, and we basically had an agreement not to shoot at each other because that was some easy pickings on both sides. But yeah, just being like perched up on the edge. We had a little scope thing with the foam mount, so then I can like live stream it to our command so he can see what we're seeing and all that kind of stuff too. And, telling all the guys down below, X bunker this direction and one up from there. You got, these guys fortifying or whatever. And they're like, all right, cool. And you were just watching them annihilate the people that you just called out. And it was really cool.
It was really satisfying.
It was so cool. And yeah, we were up there for 2 hours was the time slot or something like that.
I think so, yeah.
We were pretty much up there the whole time, just helping out teams. So that was a really cool moment. That and doing like Parabellum 3 we play a lot of games together.
I know.
That's an issue, but yeah, I thought that was really cool too. Just like putting on suits. Like I grabbed a shitty suit from Valley Village and I brought it to my friend that's a seamstress. And I got her to like sew in like extra pockets and stuff like that for magazines. And then I got her like tapered the pants and stuff so they wouldn't be so like floppy and shit. Because it was basically like wearing your dad's suit for prom kind of a look. And then she tapered it really nicely and then got like a little concealed carry on the Glock and rocking the M4 with my Jebediah hat. Just yelling Jehovah Witnesses and like
kicking in the door.
You see a gaggle of dudes just like hanging out and you walk up and like, hello brothers, have you heard of the great words of Keanu Reeves himself? And just being stupid. And that was a good time. And Adam got shot in the balls, so
oh my gosh.
And you're just like, Caleb, get him, and I just start chasing after the dude. But yeah, I would say those were some good highlights. There's I would say a low light is grenading myself in the face.
That was funny.
At 13 hours.
That was funny.
Yeah, there's video of that. I can post it sometime. But
Caleb's at the top of the stairs and I don't even know how you managed to do it, but you threw a grenade and somehow it came back.
It got caught on my glove.
Yeah.
And it went into the ceiling and I was like, oh shit. So I went down the stairs some more to hide from it. And next thing you know, it's rolled to the side of my face, blows up.
You had just enough time to say,
oh shit.
uh-oh.
Yeah, it was those tag grenades were pretty wild. But Peter, what's now that I've taken all your
Now that you
stories?
took all the stories, yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna build off of what you said about Parabellum. That was a lot of fun.
You look like the Riddler.
I did look like the Riddler. So I had same deal. I found a suit at Value Village. It was just an old shitty green suit. And my mom had to fix it because there was a cut or something in the back of it. So I got it for half price because,
Nice.
I have to get it professionally,
Sewn.
and repaired. Even though it was only going to last one game. And then I got like a button-up shirt and a vest and a tie, and I wore like the brown dress shoes, and I had a bowler hat.
Well, I think that I'm trying to remember that game got rescheduled. It was supposed to be
it was
earlier in the
originally
year.
supposed to be in like May. So I
was gonna be
also had
cool.
like a big green like
trench coat
and everything to throw over top when it got cold at night, and it was going to be a really cool look. And then it got rescheduled for like July.
Yeah, like I had a tweed, like I was originally going to go like tweed jacket with the newsboy, like just more Irish look.
It was hot.
With a shotgun and stuff like that. It was a hot look, wasn't it?
It was. It was.
But then it was just hot out, so that was fun. That's why I had to wear the hat to keep the sweat out of my face.
But yeah, that was a lot of fun. That was my first game running my my LCT G3A3, and if the player is listening, I apologize for this. We were in what?
Oh no, just you apologize for a player, and it just reminded me of that time that I shot a guy's tooth out.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, go on.
Eric apologized
Dean,
for that too.
Dean did that too.
Yep.
Yeah, but I did it from like 6 inches away.
Oh right, I forgot about that.
Thought he
one.
was blind firing, so like I came up and I looked down my scope, and he just popped his head right in front of me as I was about to shoot. I was already pulling the trigger, and I was like, oh my god.
Ugh.
But he also wasn't wearing a face mask indoors in a hallway.
That's
like-
on him.
It's like, man,
Yeah.
I wear
I
at least-
apologize so many times because like no matter what
You feel
situation,
bad.
I feel fucking terrible.
If you're not feeling bad and going sucks to suck, then fuck you. But
Pretty
like
much.
I at least wear my Sisu mouth guard, so if anything does happen, I'll just
That'll
go
just
to
break all
Sisu.
your teeth.
I'll just go to Sisu and be
Oh,
like, hey
true.
man, what the fuck?
Anyway, sorry,
didn't do
Pete.
its
Go on.
job.
Sorry, back to your story.
So it was my first time running an LCT G3A3, and for those who don't know, that's a freaking heavy gun. And so I've been running my HP M4 for a long time, so I've gotten used to the weight of that gun and how long it takes to bring that gun up to shoot somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And when we were in the second floor of the 2-story in the south wing by the trailer park, there was
I remember this.
there was a very aggressive squad trying to come towards us, and we were
Good on you, boys.
we
Good
were-
on you.
Yeah, we were part of John Wick's squad, so we got like an infinite amount of revive sticks.
The popsicle sticks
So-
to snap. We were getting saucy with it too.
I mean, we were supposed to protect John Wick,
Yep.
and the whole point of us was that like you can shoot us and slow us down, but you can't really kill us.
Yeah.
We weren't going to be assholes about it, but if you're going to attack us,
We will shoot back.
we'll hold our ground. And so we're getting shot up a bunch, and we're just snapping these sticks and flicking them down the hallway just to show the enemy squad that like, hey, we have a lot of these things. You're not gonna win this.
I remember getting shot like up the nose.
Oh, yeah.
Because this kid just like walked around the corner. It wasn't a firefight or anything like that. And I was like up the stairs a little bit. I was like, hey dude, just pow. Oh my fucking no. I see him running. I grab the thing. I just snap it, threw it at him because now he's like 50 feet away. I'm just like, "Ah, bah, 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 bah." He's just fucking running. So sorry, but you shot me in the nose, dude.
Right? So this squad was coming up the hallway, and again, I've got this big, heavy gun. It's like
Yeah.
4 feet long or something. And I poke my head out of the door just in time to see like the full squad just come out of a doorway.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh shit. And so I raise up my gun to start shooting them, and
Yes,
it
you
took
did.
considerably longer to get that gun up because it's
Yeah.
like 3 times heavier. And I started shooting when I would normally start shooting.
Yes, you did.
And I ended up hitting the guy first in line like 7 times in the dick from like 10 feet away. And
Horrible. Just horrible.
I felt so bad, but it was also the funniest moment of the entire game.
That was, when you told me about that, I was like, that poor
I
bastard.
think we pulled out just after that happened.
If they only waited like 5 minutes,
Yeah.
that wouldn't have happened for him.
Yeah, but yeah, that was
Oh,
that, and
man.
you shotgunning the dude out of the window
Yeah.
was pretty funny. Caleb, the fucker jumped out the window. Get him!
Yeah. Yeah, that was a fun game. I would like to do something along those lines again. But it is special because it was like a once in a lifetime kind of opportunity.
I like the role playing.
Yeah, it's fun being a character
Yeah.
for a game. Like we were talking about in a previous in a different group chat about getting like Polaroid cameras or whatever, just in the firefights, like being the journalists and stuff like that. It'd be kind of funny to do. So if anyone wants to sponsor this episode with a Polaroid camera and some film, that'd be cool. Thank you.
Well, Tess did that a few times, didn't she?
Not
Set
with a
media?
Polaroid.
Not with a Polaroid.
No,
because,
not
like,
with the Polaroid, but
you
she
can,
did
like,
go in. Like she gets, and so
Oh, yeah.
Kate, obviously, she does it too.
Yeah, like,
They get
like
right
Kate,
into the game. So
Kate does journalism and stuff too, right?
Yeah.
So like she just does that for real. I want to do it because it's silly and fun.
So you want to do like over the top, overacting with the Polaroid camera?
yeah,
Okay.
and like and then it prints
could-
out. So like if I get a couple of photos,
We could sell the photos at the end of the game.
there you go.
$50 a pop.
I was thinking like
Extortion.
$2 a photo or something.
Extortion.
I don't know.
I think they cost like $1 a picker.
We gotta
Yeah.
we gotta start making money back for this podcast equipment
Right?
somehow.
Yeah,
So,
we gotta afford arms with no springs
yeah,
somehow.
yeah. Because hey, everyone, listen to this. That's what it sounds like when you hit the table. You just hear springs ring through the whole thing. Which I'm sure
Yeah.
if you go through the other episodes, you can hear it a lot.
I'm
But,
sure every episode has it.
Yeah,
but,
I'm just lazy now. I don't feel like editing all that stuff out. Not
Well,
gonna lie.
the trick is don't touch the arms. And what do I do earlier? Touch the arms. So
You play with everything.
I do.
Anyways, so yeah.
It's the Italian side.
Moving on. PRZ.
Yeah.
Great fun.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Insert sad song.
Yeah, insert sad
I
song.
feel
And
bad
you know
for
what,
whoever.
too?
I
Another
feel bad for whoever buys a haunted house that's built on there in the future. But
Yeah.
Great.
But yeah, I definitely want to hear some haunted stories from
Yeah,
people.
so on the Instagram page, send in your haunted stories if you have any.
Mhm.
Maybe even your favorite moments from PRZ too.
You know what?
like,
both.
'cause-
Give me both. I want
Yeah,
both.
let's do both.
And we'll read them out and stuff like that too.
yeah,
Because like there's no easier way to fill content than if we can just read off what you guys tell us. And then you can tell your story to all other 6 people that listen. It's great,
You're gonna hit worldwide in the
you'll be
small,
famous.
right?
in front of like
Right.
3 people.
Yeah.
Hells
So
yeah.
next up on the docket, I believe
sir.
we have Icebreaker, which you guys recently attended.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Icebreaker at the TFS paintball field.
Icebreaker 8.
8. Yes. Run and hosted by Crywolf. Lovely group of people. We've been friends with them since Icebreaker 3, which was Nomad's like first big game, really.
I missed it.
Yeah, you were busy camping or something. But
Oh,
yeah,
that
you weren't
time-
even
that
on the
time camping.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
Were you even on the team at the time?
I don't know.
Nomad started at a weird time in the year.
Oh, I was on the team. Just
Okay, you're busy camping.
yeah. I don't know what was going on.
Let's call it camping.
Sure. Sure.
But yeah, Icebreaker 3, we had Brian Favell, who's been on the show multiple times. He was the commanding officer. And then he had a really cool command staff with him. The names I am totally forgetting, and they listen to the
I don't remember the
podcast.
names.
They listen to the podcast.
Do they?
They do. Because the guy's like,
we found our
On
listeners.
your side,
yeah,
you don't remember the names of your commanders?
no.
I remember Brian.
Well, Brian's on our team. It's kind of hard to forget Brian.
Right. The names are just slipping me right now. They're really good friends through Del Burnett, who's also been on the show before.
One or both of them had a wicked mustache.
Right. But they both were complete studs, and I got heat stroke within like the first 2 hours of the game. Very classic Cal move. And they literally just held me at gunpoint in their CP to be like, you're drinking this and you're drinking this. When you're done drinking these two, then we'll talk. And I was like, all right, cool. I'm done my waters. I feel like a cool breeze in the air. And I was like, oh, and they're like, how you feeling, man? I was like, you know what? I'm actually feeling like really good right now. And yeah, I'm like, yeah, that cool breeze, like that's, like it gave me like a nice little chill down my spine and stuff. Like I'm feeling really good. And they're like, yeah, no, you're still bad. I'm like, what? And they're like, that's not a cool breeze. I'm like, oh no. And then moments later, some guy from Gentleman Task Force comes out with a quarter of a watermelon.
Oh yeah,
with a wooden fork in it. He's like, do you guys want some watermelon? And I was like,
he does.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, brother. So ate that up. I think I ate Porter's beef jerky or something like that too. That was just sitting on the table. But no, that they were real G's. It was really good on them to keep an eye on me. Meanwhile, Wade's wife Haley was having heat stroke at our campsite this entire time.
Oh yeah, right.
This is past Icebreaker?
Yeah. This was Icebreaker.
God.
It was a game.
It tried to kill us and it failed.
I remember
Icebreaker tries to kill us every year. Let's be real.
I just think it's I don't know. It just seems funny to me that it's called Icebreaker because it's supposed to be like the season opener when it's still cold out and then people are getting heat stroke.
Yeah.
Well, it could have been cold out.
Well,
thanks, Pete.
Well, just like it was warm that weekend.
I know.
We've had some pretty cold days since then.
Yeah, that's the weird thing too.
Icebreakers,
it's
always
it's
a toss-up. You either have fantastic, nice, cool 20-degree weather, or it's raining on the verge of snowing, or it's like 40 degrees.
So that's definitely one of those games where you have to bring
both gears.
Everything. Just be ready.
Well, Icebreaker 3 was cold out.
Yeah.
And that was like May 5th or something like that.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, oh man, I definitely didn't bring enough gear to be like warm. I brought a cot to sleep on outside.
Yeah, but he also played without a shirt on.
That's because it was in the middle of a wardrobe change and we got attacked. There was no shirtless attackings or anything like that this year. But no, that was a good time. Player base was getting a little funky at times, but I won't really get into that.
Yeah.
How are the numbers in general?
It was about a 75 on 75 or something like that.
Yeah, or 80 on 80. It was
small numbers.
Still, that's okay.
But like,
as long as everyone's on the field.
It's about what the field can handle.
Yeah.
I do like that that where they play there. It's so much fun.
Yeah, any more than 200 players at that field, I would say is too much.
Yeah.
The main issue with it is the center. If you have too many,
the cornfield.
Yeah. So if the cornfield's in play, that's great. It extends the center of the field,
and they can then take on probably 250 players at that point.
But even then, right? Like it's
just wide open.
It's wide open, and if you introduce too many players, then you're gonna end up with what we had at Barrie Paintball at Daybreak 1, where it's just a stalemate. Nobody can get across.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like
because
you'll have fantastic gunfights the entire event, but you'll never get anywhere on the field.
Correct me if I'm wrong for Barrie Paintball. That's more of like an hourglass shaped field, right? Where they kind of funnels in the middle.
Kind of, yeah.
Maybe a crooked hourglass. I don't know.
Yeah, kind of.
Like with TFS, it's a horseshoe.
Essentially,
very thin horseshoe at the very top.
Yes.
Unless the cornfield's open. Yeah, it opens it up, but then again, like we just said,
it's very open.
It's hard to get across.
Yeah, and if you do get across, everybody knows you're across.
Yeah. It's one of those fields that's always a welcoming challenge of a field, and I love playing there once a year. I always call it the hardest game of the year.
It is the hardest game of the year
because of the field and all that. But I will say, I feel like the main issue that was reoccurring during that game was player based, nothing on the staff.
No, in my opinion, Game Control did a fantastic job.
Yeah, they did great. And I feel, because I asked our command for numbers, because I was like, it's a new player friendly game. It's supposed to be introducing new players to the Milsim world. So I was like, hey, what does our roster look like? Because I feel like there's no new people. And there was like 8 people on our entire side that wasn't like signed up as a team.
Yeah.
Which then shows how many of them are not new players. And I feel for next year, if we just let new players take over again and then get a couple of experienced players in there, like if it's supposed to be 80 on 80, let 50 players who are new sign up first and then open it up to the quotes veteran players, just because it's like, that's what Icebreaker 3 was. All new players.
Like you'd almost have to have 2 rounds of like signing up. Right?
Yeah.
Like open it up to individuals first for like 2 or 3 weeks or however long they decide.
Yeah, like first year teams or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And then, just so they can establish, give themselves a chance to get in, and then to fill the remaining spots, then you open up to the established teams like Nomad.
Yeah.
Like, it might suck for like a team like us because obviously there's a chance we might miss out on it. But
I would rather miss out on a game
it's a new,
and hear how much better it got.
Yeah, it is a new player-friendly event. That's always what it's been like advertised as. So.
Well, yeah, and like you go out at night and there are night vision and
thermals
everywhere now, and it's not really like a person with a flashlight can win a gunfight against person with nods or thermals. Sure,
the
main issue with that is that fighting night vision without having night vision or thermal, it's very possible
at PRZ.
Well, I mean, anywhere, right? So, like, under night vision, a shadow is still a shadow. A dark area is still a dark area. If you're not using your IR floodlight or whatever, if it's dark somewhere and that's where you're hiding, you're probably not going to be seen.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not going to know that as a new player.
No.
No new player is going to know how to fight night vision without having night vision. Like, I'm still learning how to do it, and I've been airsofting for, like, 13 years. It's hard.
It is hard, and if you're a first-year player and you just see a plethora of night vision and cool scopes and shit like that, and you're like, wow, this nighttime's going to suck.
It's like very intimidating.
Also, we're just going to make this clear. We're not shitting on any teams or any individual players that have night vision and all that. Like, it's awesome if that's what you're into. That's great.
I mean,
we're just talking specifically about this, new players fighting against experienced players.
Yeah, otherwise I'm shitting on myself, and that's hypocritical.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that it's very clear. And
I think it's awesome that like these night assets have become more affordable and attainable for just the average Joe players, not just the people with deep pockets. But with that comes a lot of people not knowing what they're doing, and then just a lot of people who are first years into it going, oh wow, there's so many people with night vision or thermals and all that stuff. There's no way I'm going to be playing at night. But little do they know, only 20% of the people with night vision actually know what they're doing.
Oh,
right? Like, because there's that.
Man, I'll tell you what, there was once that I threw on nods. I don't run nods ever. Like, I'm not against it. I just don't care.
Yeah.
I'll never be able to justify buying it. But I forget, somebody lent me theirs, and I just popped them on a bucket, and I was like, all right. And I'm walking around. I'm not trying to look where I'm stepping. I'm not being stealthy whatsoever. I was out on a nature walk during a recon mission, and it was terrible. But I tell you what, I'm like, guys, you guys go that way. I'm just gonna do a nature walk over here. So if anything, they'll hear me over there, and I'll give you an advantage. I don't care if I get
a distraction.
But that's exactly it. I was like, I know that I don't know how to run nods properly. There's there's an art to it. There's a technique to it. I know that I don't have it. Yeah. That's fine. I'm also the loudest guy on the field when we play. So that's kind of a different thing.
And I've done nod walks and stuff like that with some local dudes who got their night vision. And so we're setting all the lasers up and everything like that, make sure everyone's shooting true. And then we go in the woods and we do a little walking and stuff. And as we're doing that, I'm like, slowly teaching them, like, this is how you kind of want to be walking around with night vision. Like you want to be looking side to side slowly, not just like quickly looking to see.
You have to give yourself a chance to register what you're actually seeing.
Yeah. So just a lot of stuff like that. I feel more new players were actually going to Icebreaker as opposed to more experienced players. Then we get back to Icebreaker 3 and 4 kind of time frame.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted to say about it.
Yeah. So, we good for Icebreaker then?
I think so.
I think that's Icebreaker.
I think so, yeah.
Thanks, guys, for running Icebreaker.
Yeah. Awesome. What did I have? Conquer was also played recently, right?
Yeah.
That was a week ago.
Last weekend?
Last weekend. That was a week ago. My bug bites are starting to finally like even out on my arm.
Oh my gosh.
I had a bite on my forearm that was like the size of a walnut, and I was actually like a little nervous. I was like, I might actually get this looked at because it's bad.
They got some interesting mosquitoes up there.
Oh my lordy, the
and
mosquito,
dragonflies.
The mosquito dragonfly aerial warfare was pretty cool to watch. Just saying.
So for those who don't know, Conquer was held at
the compound.
Here we go. This is going to be brought up a lot because it is the new big venue for us. So we're shifting from PRZ to the compound.
So my note about people, creating us a new PRZ type field. Magic from Light Fighters acquired the compound a year and a half ago or something like that.
Something like that.
And boy, have they put time and effort into it, and it shows.
I was very impressed. With what they'd done.
Because like I would say half the field is your typical woodland bushwhacking airsoft field, and then the other half is like, oh, this is a town. Legit town. Big rooms, proper doorways, windows. I brought my tape measure, make sure everything was up to code.
I don't think that church is up to code.
That church is not to code, but the Lord provides, But no, we were some of the guys were definitely like emotionally a little down just for the previous game that we were at, and morale was a little on the low side. But man, once we got out there, morale spiked up. Friggin' Brian is jumping through windows with an RPK and a launcher. And there's times where I'm like looking at teammates and I'm like, the fuck are you doing back here? Oh, we're doing the. I'm like, explain to me why a 50-year-old is 2 buildings ahead with an RPK and a noob tube leading a charge right now. I'm like, what? I'm like, let's fucking go, guys! Like, we got some ass to kick right now, and we did. And man, hats off to you, Magic. You made a good field, and like the HP fill station being like right there in field, super handy for the HPA losers. Porta potty is great for Brandon's tum tum. Brandon's always having an issue.
Oh, man. Brandon.
He's like, oh, I'm gonna shit myself. I'm like, how about you don't, bro? Like, you should start calling them brown pants or something.
Oh man, but yeah.
How was your experience?
Well, I recently had my my G3 rebuilt, tuned up. It is now shooting base 2 limits, which is a maximum of 2.32 joules.
Sounds about right.
With 150 foot minimum engagement distance, and that field. I mean, depending on where you are, because there's a lot of variation on that field.
Yeah.
You can be in the town, which is very DMR friendly.
Yeah.
Bolt actions, whatever. Long range. If you have long range in that town, you find a good position and
you can hang out.
You'll have a ball.
Yeah. There's a sniper in the church tower.
Yeah.
Like,
I was up in the church for a while and like just very target friendly. But then at the same time, if you're running, you can run an SMG running sub-joules, and you'll also not have a problem because the way the field is laid out, there's a ring road around the outer edge of the field.
It's a circle.
It's a circle.
Yes.
And so the town takes up essentially 1/3 of that circle.
Yeah.
And then the rest, there's like sandbank bunkers, like full
proper
big bunkers. They're well built in. And then there's a fuel station, and RCP in the back corner had more trenches and bunkers around it. And then it rotates back towards the front, and you go through a trailer park, and then suddenly it's bush. Thick bush, trenches, bunkers, everything.
With tiny little trails.
And the entire center of the field is also just thick bush with little game trails and just tiny little spots to get in. And
I saw like 10 rabbits.
Oh my gosh.
That was fantastic.
The rabbits on that field are crazy.
They're brave little soldiers.
They are. But
middle of a firefight, and there's just like jackrabbit or whatever just prancing around. I'm like, buddy, go away. It's not safe.
But yeah, you can safely bring any weapon platform you want to that field, and you will find somewhere where you are very, very good at. At one point, we were in the thick brush in the middle of the field, and someone had thrown a gray smoke grenade.
Oh,
and with how
it was
thick,
so cool.
With how thick the brush is, there's no breeze.
No.
So all that smoke just kind of hung in the air, and
it was
terrifying. We could not see like 15 feet ahead of us, but we could hear.
Yeah.
Apparently there was 3 different squads. I think there was
just in our area,
like a Vietnamese squad and a Chinese squad and someone else. They all spoke different.
There was a lot of different languages.
Yeah, there was a lot of different languages.
Trees, and we were scared.
Yeah, at one point we couldn't see it in front of us. There's smoke everywhere, and all we hear is like some Vietnamese coming out of the bushes. Like it sounded like it was at our feet, and we couldn't see them. I don't think they could see us, and we're all just shooting blindly at each other, trying to figure out where they are.
I feel like I definitely shot you in that area.
No.
Because I knew someone from one of those mini squads was running a gas blowback, and then I heard your pistol going off.
Yeah, that was me shooting at them. And then they were laying on the path, and I shot over their heads because I thought they'd be normal airsofters and they'd crouch.
Oh.
But they were laying in the bush.
They were in it.
And they got me good.
Well, I definitely like turned and went, wah, wah, wah. And then I don't know if I got you or what, but then you called hit by something. So
it was the guy ahead of me. And then
I'll try better next time.
Brian was running his RPK.
Yeah.
And he's looking around. He came up behind me and he's looking at me. I'm dead. I'm just there in the middle of the path. Mm-hmm. He can't see who shot me. He can't see, anything that's going on. And one of the enemy recce squads, like, basically ran straight into him. They didn't have a chance. They came crashing through the brush, and Brian just hosed him with his RPK.
That's so funny.
And that's kind of just the fighting that happens in the center of the field. You don't see someone until you do, and when you do, they're close.
You better be ready, gun up and everything, because if you're not ready, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
And I was trying to get his son Robert to throw a grenade over a thicket of bushes, because I'm like, I hear them right there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I would rather die by this thing than them just shoot me. And it's like, okay, let's do it. As we're about to pull the pin, we both get shot in the back of the head.
Oh.
And I looked over, and after calling hit and ragged out and everything, they're like, a bunch of them like 5 feet behind us. I'm like, oh no. Like, we were fucked. But that was really fun. Like, just being in a shitty situation, not winning it at all, and then just being like, that was cool.
I might be the odd man out here, but I love being in a gunfight where you're not going to win.
Yeah, but you try. You try your hardest. It was really cool, but that was ran by Blackcell Promotions.
Yep. Magic was our commander.
Yeah, and
he won again.
Surprise, surprise. that guy's got a horseshoe or something somewhere.
He's a very motivational commander.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever we would come back to the CP, he'd, be right away. Like he'd give us time to reload and drink. And like, as soon as somebody from our squad came back out to the front, he'd be on them, hey, how long till you guys are good to go? Like,
Yeah.
here's what I want you to do. Go get it done. And
Cool.
that was it. He kept players moving out of the CP at a fairly good pace.
That's when it's really nice having a commander who's there for the purpose of like the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's not there letting you guys kind of decide, oh, you're just like, I get it. There's some people that are very like passive and like, oh, just do what you want. Just go have fun. But when you have a commander who's actually like, I have a plan. It's like, I'm not going to force it down your throat, but it's like, I'm going to constantly give you guys objectives, because at least then you feel like you're that much more involved in the game, and it keeps
You feel important.
yeah, and
Yeah.
it keeps things moving too,
Yeah.
right? So I'm a
Otherwise-
very big fan of that style of commander,
Well,
it's great.
commanding isn't, I don't want to say it's not hard, but it's not difficult. Like, the hard part is, keeping the morale up, making sure everyone's good, and just, making sure that the players themselves are happy.
Yeah.
That's the hard part. The tactics part of it, it's like, oh, you got A and B. B is getting attacked up the wazoo, and A has like nothing happening. Okay, well, let's just reinforce B.
Yep.
Now both A
Yeah.
and B are even. It's very, very dumbed down, but that's the main quick gist of it. And with Magic, it was, cool, are you guys ready? Yes, no, how long do you need? Cool, this is where I need you to go. Go do it.
Yeah, but at
And-
the
and
same
it's
time,
very simple.
hey, we're a bunch of airsofters.
Yeah.
So if you keep it simple, it
Yeah.
works.
You'd
Oh,
hope
yeah.
so sometimes.
It works.
But I didn't feel like we were like getting like rushed at or whatever either. Because some commanders are very like, you've been in here for 3.2 seconds, blah, 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 get the fuck out of here. And I'm like,
Light
dude,
discipline.
light discipline. Yeah, right. And it's just like, dude, you got to calm down. But
You need to calm down. You're being too loud.
right. But no, the compound, Conquer, awesome stuff. Mitch and Matt run a good game. It was nice seeing the Blackcell guys again.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah.
Really good to see our unofficial sponsors.
Right? Officially unofficials?
Yeah, officially unofficial sponsors.
Yeah, and then there's this guy, John, that's like recording a documentary there and stuff too.
Oh, yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, he had like a whole like chest rig for his like camera and stuff that had like the big arm above his head, so it would like carry the weight for him.
Oh, yeah. It was
It was
What was the documentary for?
the compound and airsoft and stuff.
That's dope.
Yeah, like he's gonna make a hell of a film.
Cool. Let's
Yeah, like a legit-
You figure out how to get in contact with him and
Oh, we're
try to
texting.
get him. Okay, fine. Then you know what? We'll try to do an episode with him on it then, because that sounds actually really sweet.
It's really cool.
He will have 7 new people that will know about this documentary when they listen to this podcast. Every time I say it, I'm just going to add 1 listener to the number.
So next time it's 8.
Yeah.
That's how we grow, baby. One day at
Yeah.
a time. But no, it was cool. Yeah, like that weekend was just like
it was
great.
a lot of fun.
Everyone seemed to be just on point as a squad. Like we signed up as 2 separate squads. You were in mine, and then I basically just like put Porter in charge of the other squad as like a placeholder. I'm like, I don't care who's in charge here. I just need someone to keep on like for the signups and stuff. And then I guess he ended up leading and did a good job. Yeah, and everyone's just really happy with it. And that,
Porter was just risen him with the tism.
he was risen with the tism. And he was rocking like what was it?
He has
gas
his, I think it's a
EBR.
WE. M14 EBR.
He's got some cool toys.
He has some really cool toys.
Porter's got some really cool
yeah,
shit.
like I like to think that I have some pretty cool guns, but like every now and then he'll be like, "Oh yeah, maybe I'll bring this out." I'm like,
What?
"You have that?
Yeah.
What do you mean you have that?"
That and 50 deagles.
Yeah.
Jeez. The only person that I think has more unique like guns and stuff on our team is probably Brian.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Brian's got an arsenal. Of
Didn't he just
unique-
order a new gun that looks like an air nailer or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got like the pistol drill thing.
Yeah, it's same idea. It's a whole kit for it and whatnot.
Yeah.
That's on
It's
the way.
wicked looking.
Yeah.
I can't wait
It's got
till
that cool launcher. What's that launcher called?
Oh, the Carl Gustav?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a couple of those out in the field.
There was a couple.
All right,
of those.
Blackcell, listen up. Game idea. I don't care how you're going to do it, but Caleb's going to be an NPC. He's just coming with his carpenter gear on, and he's going to run Brian's little drill gun
And the staple gun.
and the staple gun.
And if you anger him, he'll shoot you with
Yeah.
staples.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure out the details later. But
Just shoot legit staples at people. It's funny, dude.
Bears off to a whole new level.
Oh my lord! And I'll wear like, Bob the Builder fucking plaid and a hat,
Oh, yeah.
and then like some cute shorts, and then my belt will be on, and then you won't be able to see the shorts because they're so short.
Yeah.
Hell
Wow.
yeah!
What's that show? Reno 911. I'm just
New
picturing
boot-
those
new boot and goofing?
New boot goofing. Just those real short shorts.
Pretty much that, but
Oh,
a carpenter
man.
is
Yeah.
the idea I'm thinking of.
Yep. I'll start brainstorming ideas to somehow make you an NPC for a game somehow.
Yeah.
No, you know what? Actually, maybe we save that. If Nomad ever decides to run another game, that's what you're gonna be.
Well,
Wow.
it's funny that you mentioned that because last week at the compound, I think it was a Friday night or something like that, we were talking about possibly running a game.
Dope.
So, by the way, we should let you
Details
know.
to come, people.
Yeah.
There you
Details to
go.
come.
All 8 people have heard it here first. Nomad will possibly run a game again.
Yeah, we're.
Probably not Little Brad 3 though. It's gonna be something
Yeah.
different.
I
That
don't-
should be something different.
I'm down to run a Little Brad 3. Little Brad game was like the easiest game to like
Go
kinda get
find
going.
memes in the woods. That's what Little Brad 3 was.
Yeah,
too.
basics.
and
Yeah.
and you capture Brad and you bring him to different bases and all that kind of stuff. It's designed for smaller games, like smaller numbers and stuff, right? So it just keeps everyone involved at once. And then if you feel the need to like go find memes, you can kind of go out and wander and look for them. But the main objective is, taking Brad from one place to another, hold, defend, attack.
It was a very simple game, and it worked.
It was.
It was simple. That's the thing.
Also,
Keep it simple.
another very new player-friendly game.
Yes.
That's what it was for us.
Mhm.
But cool. So we're gonna develop a new game then. Awesome.
That's the plan.
Let's just not talk about it anymore here because then people will start asking about us later.
Because then
You'll get nine
nine
messages.
people are going to start asking
9
us
people
this.
will be like, "Hey, when are you guys gonna run your game?"
I'm like,
Exactly.
oh, yeah, shit. We talked about that on our episode last year.
Last year.
Great. Good job. Pete. Good job. Well,
Perfect.
the only other thing I am pretty sure we have. Well, so the next game coming up is Narco.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the next one we have scheduled.
Yes.
We, as in Pete and I, at the moment.
I haven't even signed up yet. Is registration open yet?
Great question.
I don't think it's
Should
open
check
yet.
out blackcell.ca. I don't know.
I'm
It's
on it.
also
Promotions.
only it's only June, so
Yeah, that game's in August long weekend.
yeah,
Um,
it's a little ways away. Yeah.
So we got time. I think it is, June, early June. I'm going to see
it's
the
like the
date.
second or something.
All right,
Yeah.
Narco State 8.
Ooh.
It's August 2nd and 5th, that weekend. It's going to be at the compound.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Registration is $100 per player.
yeah, they had to.
Don't
up the
have the
price.
event cap up yet. Omega and Yakuza is going to be your 2 sides. So apparently you can buy your tickets now.
Oh,
Oh, good to know. I should. I
I
should
should
do
probably
that.
get on that.
Yeah, maybe later.
What side are we going? We should probably figure
Uh,
out what side we're going on
we're gonna
before
go-
we start buying tickets.
We're gonna go on bleep.
Yeah.
We're going on that side.
side.
That side, to win. It's gonna be good. Yeah. I don't know. I'd like to try to probably not advertise what side we're on, just so
Yeah.
that everyone-
No, we want
Just
to keep it.
I just don't
impartial
want
for
everyone to sign up on the other side
because we're so popular, right?
Yeah.
They love us. But no, wearing black in the summer doesn't sound fun, but multicam black's pretty cool.
I don't
Also,
have multicam black.
When whoever goes and decides to sign up on their website, do everybody a favor. There is a link to the rules.
Read the rules.
Click it
Fucking rules.
and read it.
Yes, sir.
Because I can't tell you how many times, even for me,
Mm-hmm.
I've showed up at a game and people are asking me, what's the rule for this? Or how do we do this? Or like, what's going on for this? You know
honey.
what? Read the goddamn rules.
Yes, sir.
These events would run so much smoother in general if players took 5 to 10 minutes, read the rules, and don't skim through the rules, read the rules.
Yeah.
Especially read the camel rules. Please.
Yeah, camel
Read
rules are
the
weird.
freaking camel rules.
If there is a new player listening to this episode,
You'd be the 10th one.
please, I think we're up to 11. Please take your time, read the rules. I cannot stress how important it is to actually be aware. There's a lot of veteran players out there that and I'm guilty of it too.
Same.
We think we know. It's like, oh yeah, generic rules or this and
Yeah.
that, because it's like we've been to other events.
I've been going here since Narco 3. I know all the rules.
But that's the thing is,
They change the rules sometimes, man.
yeah, they will change the rules based off event from event from event, and then depending on who's hosting the event, rules are obviously going to be different, right?
Like
There
barrel
might be-
bags.
Yeah, and there
Yeah,
might be a
barrel bags
2-minute bleed out for one person. There might be a 5-minute bleed out for another person, right?
Yep.
So it's just, I can't stress this enough. Please, please, 12 people in the community, read the rules.
Also, just to add to that, because it probably didn't make it in the rules, because this is a very recent change. The Tag 67 grenades, Blackcell is not allowing them at their events.
Okay.
They're also banned at the compound.
Are those like the tag launcher ones?
No, they're the round orange grenades. Like I don't know if anyone remembers the green like pea grenades that we had like
I remember.
7 years ago or so.
They're called Tag 67.
Yeah, Tag 67s.
Yeah.
Oh,
one,
wow.
Yeah,
One,
yeah.
one went off in my friggin' living room.
Yeah.
I have.
Yeah, those
This is how long I've been out of Airsoft. I haven't actually seen these yet.
Yeah, so the new ones are orange. There's also
these guys here.
Yes. Confirm
Okay.
your age. Those ones.
Wow, that was
sorry.
loud.
So there's also, I think, like the AFG 6s and AFG whatever, like the other, like the cylindrical tag
Okay,
grenades.
okay.
Those are fine, but the Tag 67s are way more powerful.
Yeah.
And Magic did a test on his
It's got like a dummy in
pilot
overalls.
dummy or whatever.
Yeah.
He had like Carhartt material pants on him, and it blew a hole in the crotch. And,
Seriously?
like, yeah, and it burned
Wow.
the dummy.
I don't know why they
So-
make them so powerful.
I
I get you're wanting the realism and stuff, but you're not trying to kill each other,
Yeah,
dude. Like
they will do significant damage if one lands in your lap.
Yeah.
So I believe Magic has banned them, and Blackcell
That's probably for the best.
during the game briefing said that they are not allowing them either. So
That-
before you drop hundreds and thousands of dollars on Tag 67s,
duffel bag of grenades.
Yeah, I don't know if this is American. Oh, this is Canadian.
Yeah.
It's $130 for a 6-pack.
yeah,
That's not cheap. So yeah,
no,
you know
and
what?
That's about the same price as the other ones.
But that's what I mean. Like
Yeah.
100 to get 6 throws.
Yeah.
Like guys, if they are banned at these events, save your money. Do not bring them.
No homemade
Now
pyro
we're
either.
Yeah, that's
That's a whole nother topic,
shouldn't
though.
even have to talk about
Yeah,
that.
that's
at this
another
point.
topic.
The other grenades are fine. I think they have a lower decibel count and they're just less powerful. But
Yeah.
Also, they don't have to be powerful.
well, that too.
As
like,
long as they go kaboom,
yeah,
you're
And
fucking done.
what were those? That you could just put like the wax paper in the end, and it was just like an air. The air pop.
Oh, yeah.
It was strictly
Airsoft Innovations.
It wasn't the Thunderbees.
No.
Airsoft Innovations, yeah, they made those. I have
What
like
was it?
4 of them. I should probably know, but
Yeah,
I can't remember. But something like that, where it's simply sound. Like what's wrong with that? Like I get that people
Well-
want realism with these.
Well, so
like,
nowadays-
Tag 67s.
They're
but-
So,
cool.
so nowadays with grenades, excuse me, it's if they just go bang,
It's
just a distraction.
Yeah.
They have to be spewing out the BBs or the frozen peas or whatever it is that they're using nowadays. But even then, like, they don't have to explode like enough to rip your dick off. Like, like that's a little excessive, dude.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of revenge are you having here?
They did also talk about throwing one grenade
Yes.
into a building or a bush or
one
whatever.
one grenade at a time, because people have been throwing like, there'd be like 3 dudes and they're each throwing like 5 grenades to get one dude out, which is ridiculous.
It's excessive.
Absolute
Anyone
overkill.
who's had one of these go off right next to them knows.
Yep.
You're not calling hit and raising your kill reg right away. It takes you a couple seconds to realize what the fuck just happened.
You
and your first thought is not, "Oh, I'm dead. I need to yell hit and get out."
let me calmly
It takes
and
you a few
quickly get this
seconds to
reg
go
out.
like, "Holy crap, am I okay? Like, where am I?"
It's like the fucking movies and video games. You fucking get blown up. It takes you a fucking minute and a half to actually understand what just happened.
At least a few seconds for sure.
Yeah.
And depending if they're throwing a bunch of grenades, you're getting dizzy and shit too. Like,
I will use Icebreaker as an example here because the grenade use was quite excessive at that game. The way I saw the grenades being thrown, it was like grenade, and then 2 seconds later, another grenade, and then 2 seconds later, another
So
grenade.
basically, the grenade was being thrown. It didn't even have enough time to go off.
And
there's
another
another one
throwing
coming
another
in.
one. It was,
and it's like one dude that was throwing like 5 grenades within a minute.
yeah.
That
It
seems
was
And
quite
he's like,
excessive.
I got them all. I'm like, you got them and the fucking rabbits, dude. Like, calm down.
So, but yeah, Tag 67s are not allowed at the compound as far as I know, unless
So,
something's changed.
Have you guys been hit by the 67s?
The new grenades?
Yeah.
No,
I don't
only
think
hit
so.
myself with the old ones.
Okay. Because I was just going to ask, how do they compare to the R2B grenades that were popular
So
a few
I'm
years
pretty
ago?
sure I heard a few, at least 1 or 2 Tag 67s go off at Icebreaker. You know that it's a different grenade.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Because I'm just remembering that one year in the stairwell.
That
And-
Oh,
And the
yeah.
3
Op
story.
4 had,
A hockey bag.
a hockey bag full of these R2B grenades. And like,
They would drop one every 30 seconds just to
Yeah.
keep squads
And-
from moving up.
and I get it. And it's,
The same 2 people have been dead for the past
but
20
that's the
minutes.
thing. I
bro.
remember
Yeah.
I was stuck on a landing. And thank God I had Ear Pro.
Yeah.
But like,
I didn't.
it just standing there and it's like, I can't move. No one can come up and get me to like
Yeah.
pull me out of there.
Yeah.
And they're just constantly dropping them. It's like, I understand,
My-
like tactically it makes sense. But
my gun
that's
was
just
on my
insane.
back, and I was just holding my ears the whole time.
Was it me and you that were stuck on
Yeah.
a landing?
I was
Because
also on a landing.
that was the
yeah,
year-
there was a bunch of us.
that was the year we wore shorts and then got yelled at about it afterwards. But also, fuck
And now
off.
shorts are
man.
allowed, aren't they?
No.
No, they're
not-
very strict
not
about
yeah.
the rules because you have to wear pants. Because
Well, hey, if there's Tag 67's grenade, no one's wearing shorts now.
right,
Oh, I'm still wearing shorts.
Jesus Christ.
Not at the not
no,
at the
your pants,
compound
your
yet.
pants
I
will
know,
just
I know.
your pants will turn to
I
shorts.
still have to find out if poison ivy affects me because I've never gotten it before.
no.
we can find out real quick.
Well, I've been wearing shorts.
go for a hike.
Right? I've been wearing shorts at airsoft events for like 7 years now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Never had poison ivy, so I've either been incredibly lucky, or it just doesn't affect me.
We're
But,
immune to it, whatever.
I've
But,
heard there's a lot at the compound, and I'm not really prepared to find out.
I haven't noticed any.
Yeah.
Like we went into the brush quite a bit. Yeah, I haven't really been affected by poison ivy myself either. If it does, it's very minor
I just don't want to find out because some of our teammates have gotten poison ivy.
in places.
Bad.
In places.
Yeah. In
Well, my old
Yeah.
back when I was on the Widows, there was this guy Paul who got it bad at PRZ, and he had to go to a burn clinic every morning to get new bandages for a week or so.
Wow.
Like his whole body, it was bad. He's fine now. He's doing great.
that's good.
But yeah, I think that's all I got about the Compound and Conquer for me. It was a good time.
and the season in general so far.
So far.
So far, so
More to
good.
come.
Yeah.
More to come.
Yeah, Narco State. I've heard a couple rumors about Redacted. That sounds like a very interesting game. but I haven't checked my calendar or anything. So
Yeah, I should probably book that off. I like the going to a new game, just not knowing what's going on.
Unless you read the rules.
Well,
because you definitely do that, right, Can-Do?
I 100% read the rules every time. And when Teresa and I drive up together, she will read out the rules as well.
As you're driving?
Yeah.
That's the best way to do it, especially if you're carpooling.
Well, especially if you're playing like a medic or something. Know how to fucking do your job.
Exactly. Well,
only medics can drag people, by the way. Just
depending on what the rules say.
That was a joke that was said in our CP at Icebreaker.
Oh, jeez.
And one of the commands guys heard at Keanu and I having a joke about it from the previous year. Someone thought only medics can drag and everyone else can revive.
Medic.
So him and I, and he's in game control outfit, him and I are having a joke about it. Buddy hears it in the sidelines and tells every single person. It's a good thing I forgot their names right now because it was funny.
Yeah, that was a good way to start the game.
That and the minor time delays, but whatever. Yeah. Nothing new there.
Yeah. Well, our last topic, we're about an hour and 20 minutes now. So first episode back, I think we can probably wrap it up here.
We can wrap it there.
And we can save it. We can save this for next time.
Those tacos are looking really good.
They're looking so good. Over
so to wrap it up, if you have anything you want us to talk about, I mean anything, doesn't even have to be airsoft related, send it in to Caleb. Let him know.
Star Wars Acolyte's coming out on Tuesday.
Ooh, it is.
Oh. Yeah, Star Wars.
You know what's funny? I haven't even watched The Bad Batch yet.
Oh, man.
Any of it?
No, I have. I just haven't watched the last season.
Oh, I did.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna binge it.
I'm so happy with how
it was. It was a happy tear, man. At the end.
Great. I can't wait to know what it is. Because this is a spoiler-free podcast episode.
Fuck that. You don't want it to happen?
I'm just going to turn the other microphones off for a second here. Pete, on multiple occasions, has ruined Star Wars things for me. I get to a point where I won't even watch a trailer for something, and then Pete comes in just like big goofy smile on his face, like, "Hey, Heavy, have you seen the new trailer when this happens and this happens?" I was like, "You son of a bitch."
Hey, Caleb, check out these cool spoilers. And it's
my gosh. I almost got kicked off the team.
Yeah, you did. I was pissed.
We take Star Wars very seriously.
Well, this was for Avengers Endgame.
And it was...
So it was like...
The 10-year build-up.
It was a meme.
Check out these cool spoilers. And it was like a Honda Civic with this massive spoiler on the trunk. And then an Acura something with a big spoiler.
A Subaru or
whatever.
Yeah,
Subaru with a big spoiler. And then Iron Man with the gauntlet on.
Oh, wow.
I saw that.
I almost got kicked off the team for that one.
Funny, but terrible.
I almost drove to Kitchener to kick your ass.
And then our buddy Mike from Xbox.
He's
Mike. Also big into Star Wars. And
big Mike.
I saw...
he's one of
Rise
our
of Skywalker
12 listeners.
Yeah. I saw Rise of Skywalker before him. And you know how they do the whole, like, transport switcheroo where you think Chewie dies and then it turns out he was in the other one, and you don't know it until like 20 minutes later in the movie.
Not long enough of a drag for that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I ruined Han Solo dying for him with the first one.
He lives on in our hearts.
Yeah. I'm like, oh man, Han Solo's looking pretty rough these days. Well, Harrison Ford's fine. Yeah, well, Han Solo's dead, so not real mad about that.
Not even hinting to it. Just he's dead.
And so he ended up posting in our group chat like, "Oh, I'm sitting in the theater right now to watch Star Wars. You can't spoil it for me now, Pete." And I saw it when he typed it. So instantly I'm like, Chewie dies. and he saw it before he could close the chat. And he texted me like an hour later or something when it happens in the movie. He's like, "Fuck you, Pete." And then like 20 minutes later,
fuck you, Pete.
Still fuck you.
That's so mean.
Yeah.
But no, I'm looking forward for Star Wars Acolyte, so we will definitely talk about that.
It's going to be our next episode. You know what?
Probably.
You guys should just come over when it comes out.
A Star Wars episode.
We can just turn my TV a little bit.
Oh, shit.
Because...
Yeah, it is.
Oh, that's the other thing. Yeah, I bought a house and I moved, so now we actually have a proper space where we can set up and like record stuff and like do it more consistently, hopefully.
And it's catered.
It's catered. But yeah, I just think that this setup will be a lot easier to be able to do things and be able to get some more content out. And we're less crammed. I remember doing it in my apartment, trying to sit around the island. It was just a freaking...
We could hold hands. It was nice.
Yeah, this, we're all spaced out. We got a nice big table and everything.
Well, yeah, and then if we have a fourth person too, right?
Yeah,
it's easier to.
Well, you and I all sit on the same side.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice
over
and simple.
here maybe or something. But anyways, that's all, folks. I think that's it.
That's all, folks.
Exactly. Thank you to all who have been patient.
Yeah,
with
all
us.
13.
All 13 ZUs. 3 of them are here.
I don't listen to the episodes. Are you kidding me? I'm in it. I don't need to relive this.
Oh, no, you got to listen so that way Spotify thinks we're popular. Like, put it on repeat, son.
Yeah, it's like a quarter of our listeners.
Yeah.
I'll just start forcing it on the truck drivers at work.
Oh, yeah, that'd be funny.
Hey, you should really listen to this. What are we listening to?
Shut up and listen. It's me.
It's funny. I am not the same person when I'm at work. I'm very, like, mean.
So where's the difference?
Trust me.
Meaner.
There's a difference.
More French mean than English mean, I guess.
So, yeah, everyone, if you made it this far, thank you so much for listening. We appreciate it. Sorry about the long hiatus. We promise we will try and do a little tiny bit better. So maybe like 6 months till the next episode instead of a year. No, hopefully sooner.
You know, that's double productivity right there,
right?
That's
if we just set the bar real low to begin with,
exactly.
Every little bit more that we does, it's just like wow. But
perfect.
Anything else?
No, just the big thanks. It's nice going to an airsoft field locally or out of town and just hearing about people who you don't normally
wanting to
talk to.
Hear the podcast come back.
Saying, hey man, like we really appreciate the podcast. When's the next episode? All that stuff. Your songs have been heard.
Yep, and we're back
for at least one episode.
I even posted something on my heavy Instagram page there.
Did you?
Yeah, story for the first time in like 3 years.
Yeah, you should definitely check that. People might think you're just leaving them on red or something.
I probably did.
Yeah. All right. Pete, anything, any closing words?
No, I got nothing.
All right, cool.
We're good.
All right, well.
Check out this sweet outro music that Caleb now has to edit because I'm making it a thing.
Yep, I definitely got to throw that in there. And.
Okay. Bye.